4 weeks until kick-off in the Championship. Here are my thoughts on the past week of transfers. We'll start once again with the Year 1 parachute teams, and Watford begin their recruitment under Rob Edwards, and they've gone in strong up top on Vakoun Bayo as their goalscorer for the season. The 25-year-old Ivory Coast striker arrives from Charleroi in Belgium. 13 goal contributions in 15. Sounds very serviceable. You can debate whether it's a step up, down or across from the Pro League to the Championship. If he settles, this one sounds like a good player at a good age. And Watford do have a good history in terms of going to Europe, and they continue down that route. More action at Burnley as Vincent Kompany continues to build his first 11 there. Centre half needed addressing with Tarkowski and Mee both on their way. And in comes 22-year-old Luke McNally. He makes the step up from League One at Oxford, where he impressed at right-sided centre-back on a permanent. Taylor Harwood-Bellis comes in on loan from Manchester City. Harwood-Bellis is known to us Championship fans from loans at Blackburn and Stoke. He's known, more importantly though, to Vincent Kompany because he was on loan at Anderlecht. And those of you who kept telling me the Man City legend would play that card and keep going back to his old club, well, you were right. CJ Egan-Riley also arrives from Man City on loan. We'll put the All Choir up at Norwich, but they could well do with Teemu Pukki either signing a new deal or at least seeing this one out for this season. We also need to put the All Choir up on our Year 2 parachute teams for this past week. I'm expecting Sheffield United to kick into gear pretty soon from the rumours we hear, and West Brom seem to be fairly happy so far with those two big free agent deals. In terms of our losing playoff competitors last season, Luton have added another name, Louis Watson, in from Derby. The 21-year-old made 4 Championship starts over at Pride Park. I'm sure Luton will have done all the data and all the due diligence on him, and he goes into the mix in centre midfield in the Hatters squad. Another couple of incomings at Millwall. Benik Afobe, who was on loan there last season, has now arrived on a permanent. He scored 12 goals. He's been trying to find a home after maybe having his best years a few years ago, let's just say. And has he found it there at the Den? If he can improve on those 12 goals from last season, Millwall fans will certainly be happy with that pickup. George Honeyman has also arrived from Hull. Hull did finish in the bottom 6 last season, but Honeyman in the sort of number 10, number 8 position was one of the better performers there. So that also looks like quite a sound pickup. Millwall fans disappointed about the departure of Jed Wallace will likely be happy with the steps taken so far. Maybe needs 1 or 2 more for this to be a net positive transfer window. At Preston, Di Cornell arrives in goal, presumably though as backup to last week's goalkeeper signing Freddie Woodman. There's 3 more in at Stoke. Liam McCarron departs Leeds, and he's probably going to be back up to Josh Tymon down the left-hand side for Stoke. Harry Clark comes in on loan from Arsenal. He was with Hibs on loan last season, seemed to play everywhere for them, but in the main down at right wing-back. So he's back up to Tommy Smith. Who knows? We'll find out there. Gavin Kilkenny is one I like. He's arrived at Stoke from Bournemouth on loan. He actually started the season in central midfield for Bournemouth, mainly due to injuries, put in a couple of eye-catching displays, but of course the Cherries had such a strong squad, particularly in midfield, that his opportunities were limited, let's just say, there. The Swansea talk is dominated by the idea Flynn Downs might be headed to Crystal Palace. Remember, Palace were in for Downs before he actually went off to Swansea. I didn't touch on Matthew Sorinola last time. He's a 21-year-old, right-footed, left winger. He's English, but he plays in Belgium, and he was with Russ Martin at MK Dons back in the 2020-21 season. At Hull, lots of keen Lewis Potter to the Premier League talk. Nothing new there. What is new, though, is a couple of new faces. In comes Tobias Figueiredo from Forest. That seems quite a good pickup. He was at Forest since 2018. Started over 100 Championship games and is only 28. Quite like that one. And we do love a Turkish link at Hull since that ownership change. In comes Auzathoth of 65 international caps, and he is a one-time €7 million signing for Fenerbahce back in the day. The central midfielder will, however, hope that he has more impact than he did on loan at Watford last season. Maybe we'll put that down to circumstance, and we'll wish him luck over at Hull. More movement from the promoted teams coming up from League One last season, and what I think is a pretty big one for Sunderland. I like this one a lot. Dan Ballard arrives on a permanent from Arsenal. Really good calibre, obviously. Really good age and definitely ready to go at Championship level after that loan at Millwall last season. 30 starts there, and he certainly would have learned how to defend in the Championship under Gary Rowett. Don't forget, he also won promotion working with Neil Critchley in League One the previous season. More signings like that, and we'll have to take Sunderland very, very seriously. Rotherham, we'll be hoping we're going to take them seriously too, and they're mitigating those big departures of Michael Smith and Michael Ihekwe. Ihekwe particularly because Jamie Matcat, who played plenty in the Scottish Premiership for St Johnstone, has come in at centre-back, and 26-year-old Cohen Bramall arrives from Lincoln at left-back. Get your thoughts in on any of these deals down there via the comments. I try and catch all the deals as they come in. But look, there's a lot of moving parts and 24 teams to cover. So if there's something you wanted me to talk about that I didn't, keep nice and calm and just ask down there in the comments. I might already have talked about the transfer you want me to talk about on last week's video, which you can watch right here. Or if you want a bit more drama, why not check out yesterday's video as Lee Bowyer was fired as Birmingham City manager.